Osman, the founder of the Ottoman Empire. They were initially a small tribe members. His Beylik transformed into a world empire in the centuries after his death. It existed until shortly after the end of World War One. Osman's ancestors were descendants of the Kai tribe of August Turks. According to Osman's Ottoman traditions, Osman's father Ertugrul led the Turkic Kai tribe west from Central Asia into Anatolia, fleeing the Mongol onslaught. Mongolians were cruel, so they had to flee from them. He pledged allegiance to the Sultan of Alauddin Anatolian Seljuks, who granted him dominion over the town of Sogut on the Byzantine frontier. Osman appears to have followed this strategy of increasing his territories at the expense of the Byzantines while avoiding conflicts with his more powerful Turkish neighbors. Osman became emir or bey upon his father's death, not yet sultan. It's a title given to the leader of a clan of tribal members. Osman's ascension to power wasn't so peaceful, as he had to fight his relatives before he got hold of his clan's leadership. One of Osman's major rivals was his uncle Dunda Bey, who might have plotted to kill his nephew or rebelled against him when he went to attack a small Greek island. Why? Because Dunda Bey saw that Osman's ambition as a threat that he might put the whole clan in danger. So he had a good reason. However, Osman had to pull out his sword for disobeying him, and he had to kill him. During that time, Osman and several other warriors started organizing raids on Byzantine lands adjacent to Sogut, such as Yahisar, Bilecik, Inagol and Iznik. As a result, the Byzantine Tafkur, or known as the governor of Bursa, was provoked, and he then sent a letter to the Seljuk Sultan, Alauddin, complaining about these constant assaults. Thus, the Sultan ordered Gundas Alp to bring forth his nephew to stand before him, and so Osman was arrested and sent to Konya. According to this narration, Sultan Kayubot admired Osman's courage and deeds and didn't want to punish him. Instead, Osman was sent to Hajj Bhaktas, some wise people, to consider this matter. Okay, Osman was warmly received by the Sufi mystic, who then ordered his release, saying, "I have been waiting for someone like him for years." After that, Haji Bakta's Valley wrapped up Osman's head with the same turban associated with Sufi sheikhs, and he sent back him to Konya with a message to Sultan asking Osman to become the Kai emir. Thus, Osman became the clan's leader. Until the end of 13th century, Osman's conquest include the areas of Bilecik, Yenisar, Inagol and Yarisar and Byzantine castles. Yeah, Osman's first real conquest followed the collapse of Seljuk authority when he was able to occupy the fortress of Kuluchahisar and Eskihesir, the first significant city in these territories. Yenisar, which became the Ottoman capital in 1302, after soundly defeating a Byzantine force near Nikaya. Osman began settling his forces closer to Byzantine-controlled areas. Alarmed by Osman's growing influence, and Byzantines gradually fled the Anatolian countryside. Byzantine leadership attempted to contain Ottoman expansion, but their efforts were poorly organized and ineffectual. The fact that Kai tribe became known by the name of Osman suggests that the tribe became more powerful because of his excellent leadership. Osman was that of a tribal leader who enjoyed enormous success in uniting his people around him. The state and the dynasty of rulers were named after him. The population of the state was called Ottomans up until the beginning of the 20th century. That is, until the collapse of the Ottoman Empire. Osman was a wise, patient ruler whom people sincerely respected and were ready to serve him faithfully. He had a natural sense of superiority, but he never sought to assert himself with the help of a power, and therefore he was respected not only by those who were equal in position, but also those who exceeded his abilities on the battlefield or on wisdom. Osman did not arouse feeling of rivalry in his people, only loyalty. He was also very good at exploiting masterful people. Osman's last campaign was against the city of Bursa. Although Osman did not physically participate in the battle, the victory at Bursa proved to be extremely vital for Ottomans as the city served as a staging ground against the Byzantines in Constantinople. Osman left a written will to his son Orhan, instructing him to move on with the constant conquest and jihad against the Byzantines, that he abides by the teachings of Islam and dedicates himself to spread the word of Islam. He was married twice and he had 2 sons and a daughter. He was a family man. Both of his children were capable leaders. Orhan was the eldest and was the most aggressive one, and the second son, Aladdin, was a bit passive but was very intellectual, who understands the economy and was also medically qualified. He willingly acknowledged and gave him the ring as he didn't want any dispute among his brothers. So he gave his full place and he didn't want to divide. So he could manage the political problems that were happening in the kingdom. Osman's primary goal was and dream was to spread the message of Islam to the world. His cause was this, and under this cause he united all the many tribes that were divided and made to fall under one unit called the Ottomans.